Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my weekly makeup basket. Now I do want to address something really quickly before I get into this video. I am doing a weekly makeup basket approximately every 2 weeks. I like to pick items or show you guys items that I have picked that I have been using for the past 2 weeks. So this is a makeup basket and not a shop my stash. I do not really like to pre-pick my items. I've had a few people ask me if I'm going to be showing you guys and shopping my stash. I don't pre-pick any of my items. Maybe I will pick out one item that I want to use out for the next 2 weeks. Like if it's a brand new item or a brand new foundation that I've gotten and I kind of want to test out. But other than that, everything that I use, I tend to kind of pick out as I'm putting on my makeup. So these videos are going to be the items that I have used for the past 2 weeks and not so much the items that I'm going to be using for the next 2 weeks, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to be doing face or base products, then I'm going to go into eyes, then I'm going to talk about bronzers, blush, and highlighters, and lastly we will end with any lip products. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about the eye products that I had been using for the past couple of weeks or for the past 2 weeks. I typically like to pull out maybe 2-3 palettes at most and kind of play around with them, and one of them tends to be a newer palette and one of them tends to be like a tried and true palette. So I pulled out the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. This is an absolutely gorgeously packaged palette, first of all, and then the colors in here are just absolutely beautiful. I think this is a palette that's only available on the Sephora website. I don't think I was able to pick this up on the Ulta website. I have picked up 2 of the Dominique Cosmetics palettes on the Ulta website, but I didn't see this palette specifically. And I've picked up, I think, like 1 or 2 other palettes only off of the Sephora website. So I really like this palette because it did have a lot of like really nice warm tone shadows and then lots of fun pops of color. And I did play around with every single one of these shades. I created a really cool like two-toned blue and brown look. I had a really nice like green look, so I used this kind of like all over the lid and this in my outer V and in my crease. The only color that I really just didn't get along with is this navy blue with like a blue shimmer or glitter in it, and I think that's just because that's not my cup of tea. I typically don't like those tones of colors. I don't really know what to do with them because it is shimmery. It's not a color I can really put in my crease, and I just don't really like those deep or dark colors all over the lid. I did try to do like a smoky eye with it, but I was like, where the hell am I going with a smoky eye? But it's just not my cup of tea. But the formula for Dominique Cosmetics is absolutely gorgeous, very smooth, very pigmented. Let me get a little bit of a matte swatch for you. All of the palettes that I have tried from Dominique Cosmetics has a very gorgeous formula. So here is a shimmer and then here is a matte, and I just think it's a very good palette, very good formula. Yeah, that palette definitely kind of pushed me a little bit outside of my comfort zone with some of those colors, but I really liked playing around with those colors. So the next eyeshadow palette that I want to talk about is this one here. This is the Viseart Dark Matte palette. I recently picked this up on a haul from Sephora. I did pay full price for this. These palettes run at $80, I believe, so they are very expensive palettes, but let me tell you, this palette, this formula, or the matte formula, actually no, I've tried both the shimmer and the matte formula, but this palette specifically is so worth it. I have been reaching for this palette non-stop. This is what I'm wearing in my crease today and in my outer V. I can very lightly go in with a fluffy brush and use any of these colors to kind of use as my transition shade and my crease shade, then go in and kind of deepen up the crease a little bit more with it. And then of course I originally bought this palette to kind of deepen up my outer V on palettes where I just found some of the deeper colors in those palettes to be just not underperforming, and I knew I could reach for this palette and that every single one of these would perform very well in my outer V, because I always like to kind of deepen up my outer V. And I have used this palette with almost every single eyeshadow that I'm gonna show you today. So let's get into the single eyeshadows that I use. The first one, I'm gonna kind of count it as single eyeshadows because I've been using this as kind of like an eyeshadow topper. So this is the Urban Decay Moondust palette. I believe this palette is discontinued, but I just really like this formula as a nice kind of glitter topper because I feel like the colored pigment base isn't strong enough for some of these. It's kind of like a sheer-ish formula. And I like that because I can put it on top of a colored eyeshadow or a matte eyeshadow and just kind of create a really nice glitter combo. So I kind of had fun playing around with these and some of these eyeshadow sticks. So I have 2 eyeshadow sticks here from the Balm. These are the Batter Up primed, or the Batter Up long wearing eyeshadow sticks. So I have a pinky one called Moonshot, and then I have kind of like a purpley one. And this one is in the shade Pinch Hitter, yeah. So it's like this really pretty purpley one. And then I did pull one in from Laura Mercier, I believe it is. Let me see if I can find it. It's a little mini one. So this one's in Metallic Taupe from Laura Mercier. It's just a little mini deluxe size sample. And I really, first of all, love these little eyeshadow sticks for some really quick and easy kind of eye look. So you just kind of apply the shadow, pat it out. I normally pat it out with my finger to kind of help the eyeshadow stick set a little bit. Maybe apply a little bit of a transition color beforehand. Maybe deepen up the crease just a little bit, but honestly with just a little bit of a transition color, which by the way, any of my transition colors that I use with these single items, I use this Viseart palette with, and just this all over the lid was just a really quick and easy eyeshadow look. But if I wanted to kind of add a little bit of something extra, I would go in with one of these Moondust shadows and just kind of pop it on top of that eyeshadow, like that cream eyeshadow, and oh my gosh, it looked beautiful. And I didn't really have to use like a glitter glue or anything with it. It really did kind of like transform the shadow. Like I did kind of this, I don't know if they have names. I don't know if these shades have names. So I did this Element shade on top of the Laura Mercier one. I played around with this pink shade Spectre on top of the pink The Balm one. Magnetic I used on top of that purpley The Balm one, and I had so much fun with it. I also played around with putting it on top of some of the eyeshadows from the Dominique Cosmetics. I also did a couple of other single products. I played around a lot with like bases and textures this week when it came to eyeshadow products. So let me finish talking about the rest of the eyeshadow products. An eyeshadow that I use on its own is the ColourPop Color Shock Shadow in Lala. I just kind of pulled this out because I wanted like a really nice, like easy one and done bronzy color. You guys know the ColourPop formula. Absolutely creamy, absolutely gorgeous. It's like a bronzy, like pinky color. Very, very beautiful color. Then I have the Bare Minerals single eyeshadow in the color Celestine, or it's like Celestial, but it's Celestine. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that word, in Celestine Matte. And this I first thought was going to be like a very matte shadow, but honestly when you put it on your eyes, it kind of has like a shimmery like base to it. It's gonna look like nothing because it's almost the same color as my skin, but I paired this with this pink undertoned The Balm Batter Up cream eyeshadow, and I really liked that combo. I probably wouldn't purchase one of these eyeshadows on its own. I got this as a free with purchase eyeshadow, and I really liked the formula. This combo is actually what I wore to my new hire processing, to my orientation processing for teachers. I wanted to kind of wear something very soft, very not too dramatic, and I just really liked this combo together. All right, these two cream shadows. I have the Cover FX Shimmer Veil in the shade Celestial. This is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today. And then I have the Stila. This is the Glitter and Glow, but this is kind of like the super like metallic shimmery one. And I don't really like this product. It kind of burned on my eyes, the Stila one. It is extremely reflective and kind of like metallic, but I don't know. It's just, it just burned my eyes just a little bit. So I'm probably going to declutter this product. I did get it as part of like a little deluxe size sample, but I'm definitely going to be keeping the Cover FX one. I prefer this Cover FX formula so much better, but the Cover FX formula is not only metallic, it also has like these very fine chunks of glitter in it. So there is the Cover FX one, and then there is the Stila one, and it doesn't burn my eyes. So this is just a deluxe size sample of it. I got, again, like a little holiday set. I got like 2 or 3 other colors, and then I do have like a full size one that I got in my BoxyCharm. These are kind of pricey, but I really like working with this. I have been wearing this eyeshadow look. Let's see, when did I do my makeup? I did my makeup around 8 in the morning, and right now it's like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and it hasn't budged. And I have very watery eyes. I haven't retouched my eyeshadow or anything like that. So I really like the way this performs. I really enjoy this formula. So if you were interested in trying some of those Stila ones, or you had tried those Stila ones and they kind of burned your eyes, because I do get a very similar reaction when I use like the large glittery ones, and I just thought it was me. But you know, once I tried it in comparison to the Cover FX one, I really realized how much it irritated my eyes. So try the Cover FX one if you haven't. All right, moving on to the rest of my face products now that we are done with eyes and all of the fun little things and little minis. I don't normally pull this many singles in at one time, but I was just having a lot of fun with playing around with some of these singles, and I did wear makeup every single day for the past 2 weeks. Sometimes I like to give myself a little bit of a break, but honestly, it was just having so much fun playing around with all these colors. All right, let's talk about really quickly the foundation that I have recently discovered and have been absolutely loving. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation and Skincare, and I picked this up. Ulta was running a special where if you got this, you got like a free foundation brush. This was a product that I had been eyeing, or I had heard was coming out and I had been eyeing, and it's a very lightweight, medium coverage, I would say like light to medium coverage foundation. It is what I'm wearing today, and I will say I took a nap with this foundation and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Only thing I have had to like retouch up since taking that nap is my lip color. I haven't had to like retouch anything. So it not only looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and then of course I had to like retouch my T-zone, but that's just because I get oily throughout the day. So I always have to retouch my T-zone. This foundation really does look like skin. I can barely tell that I have a foundation on my skin. It has this really cool kind of shimmer. Let's see if I can focus on that shimmer for you guys. You may be able to see that there is a very fine shimmer kind of running throughout the foundation. That doesn't really show up on your face. I've been like really keeping an eye out to see if I can see that shimmer on my face. It just kind of makes your face look glowy and youthful, but not too super glowy. That glow you see on my face is not this. That is definitely the highlighter that I'm wearing. But it's just, it kind of melts into the skin, or like absorbs into the skin. I've applied this with a sponge and with a brush, and I like both ways of applying it. I've honestly even applied it with my fingers, and I even liked it when I applied it with my fingers. It does have a nice pump. I am in the shade Light Warm, and I really like this foundation, you guys. If you found the IT Cosmetics CC cream a little too emollient, because I do have combo oily skin, sometimes the CC's cream, especially in the summertime, is a little too emollient. I would definitely give this foundation a try. It's still gonna give you a nice like satin finish look. Like I said, it looks skin-like. I really freaking love that foundation. All right, so I have some contour bronzer type of products here. These two are from Fenty Beauty. These are their matchstick, but they're the matte ones. These were on sale on the Sephora website, and I decided to pick up two of these. So first I picked up the shade Caramel because I thought this would be a good like warm cream bronzer, and I really do like it. It looks a little bit intimidating here, but it blends out really nicely, and it really gives me kind of like that sun-kissed look, so to speak. But I really like these to wear as bases for a more shimmery bronzer. So I wore this as a base for the Clinique Powder Pop Flower Bronzer. This bronzer is absolutely gorgeous, but it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. So here is the Clinique and there is the Fenty Beauty. Yeah, the Fenty Beauty is closer to my thumb. And I just kind of wore these together because, like I said, the Clinique has like a little bit of a sheen to it. I did wear the Clinique bronzer on its own, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, this is in the shade Solar Pop. I'm not sure if they have more than one shade of this bronzer, but it's just absolutely beautiful. I love the Clinique like cheek pops. I want to pick up the highlighter, but I just have a lot of highlighters in my collection, and it's not something that I was absolutely interested in trying. I wanted to definitely try this because I've been getting into bronzers a lot more. So love this product. I love this caramel matchstick on its own, but I would definitely say these matchsticks are something that you do kind of have to set a little bit with a powder. But what I am wearing today, I would say, is probably my favorite bronzer combination ever. I don't know. I just really like this bronzer combo that I'm wearing today. So I am wearing the matchstick in the color Maple, or in the shade Maple. But yeah, that's Maple right there. And it definitely has a cooler undertone. So if you can see, Caramel is a lot warmer and Maple has a cooler undertone. It's like a cool neutral undertone. But I decided to try kind of cream contouring slash bronzing with this, and I really like this. It does have a, in my opinion, not a completely cool undertone. I feel like it, in comparison to Caramel, you can definitely see it's cooler, but on its own it still has like some warmth to it. So I decided to pull in the Honey Bronzer from the Body Shop. So this is in light matte. So there's a swatch of it right there. And I wore this as a topper for the Fenty Beauty cream stick in the shade Maple. And I absolutely love it. I don't know. Let me know, you guys. What do you think? What do you think of this like contoury, bronzery type of situation? But yeah, I really like these. This is the first time I've really played around with the Fenty Beauty matchsticks. I kind of like that they're magnetic. I wanted to try these two shades. I like them. I like the way they blend. They're extremely creamy. And like I said, I took a nap on this and it did not move. That's pretty impressive to me. So love those. Those were the two bronzers that I pulled in. I typically try to pull in a more matte bronzer and a shimmery bronzer. So those were the two matte bronzers that I pulled in this week, or these past couple weeks. Blushes. So I pulled in a blush palette, and I pretty much just stuck with this blush palette. And it also has a few highlighters in here because I really didn't feel like I needed to bring in anything else. So this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush palette in Blush Bazaar. This is maybe 2 years ago that this came out. They always release these for the holidays, and I absolutely love it. And it has so many different shades. I'm trying not to blind you guys with this ridiculously reflective packaging. But as you can see here, it has a more pinky highlight and a more golden highlight. And I actually used a lot of the different colors of blushes here. You have some, you know, more plummy blushes. You have some more pinky blushes. You have some more matte blushes. I really like this peachy blush in the shade Fortunate. I also really liked this more like neutral blush, but I did play around with several of these blushes. I am not wearing a blush today. I really kind of wanted my eyes to be more like the center of attention with the look today, but I did play around with a lot of these blushes, and I really love the Tarte formula. But what really surprised me were the highlighters. So the highlighter is what I'm wearing in my inner corner today, and it's also what I have lightly dusted on top of the cream highlighter that I'm wearing today. So I'm wearing that pinky highlight on top of ColourPop's ColourPop's Flexitarian. This is just a classic highlighter. It is, or I'm sorry, Scrumptious. Flexitarian is more like an icy, like white gold, but Scrumptious is this gorgeous, like gorgeous icy pink. And I really wanted a pinky highlight because the other highlights that I pulled in for the makeup basket were more on the gold side. So that is what I'm wearing today, is Scrumptious on, and then Lightly Dusted is the highlighter from this palette here. But yeah. All right, so the other two highlighters that I pulled out to play around with, this one is the MAC, I'm sorry, I may mispronounce this name, Teyana Taylor. I'm not sure who she is. I really wanted to try a mineralized skin finish like highlighter. I've been eyeing Soft and Gentle for a long time. I know it's like a cult classic highlighter, but it just seemed a little bit too, I don't know, subtle for me. From all of the people that I've seen wear that highlighter, I'm not really interested in subtle highlighters. But this shade is in House of Petunia, and the packaging is just gorgeous. It's like this neon pink, like, I don't know, like Barbie neon packaging. And this is a mineralized skin finish, but it's definitely meant for deeper skin tones in my opinion, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. You can definitely tell that you're wearing a highlighter, but so I wouldn't fully call this a subtle highlight, but it's definitely more subtle than the highlighters that I have in my collection, and especially more subtle than the Extra Dimension Skin Finish highlighters that I have from MAC. So another MAC product I have is the Selena La Leyenda Extra Dimension Skin Finish, and this one is definitely a blinding highlighter. So first of all, let's talk about the packaging. This was, you know, part of the newest MAC Selena collection. Oh, I love that little bustier. And then I've decided to keep the insert because, you know, it's Selena. But this is a gorgeous gold highlighter, and it's definitely an intense highlighter. So I have been absolutely loving this, but I don't think this is going to be good for people of all skin tones because it's definitely more on the deeper side. So if you can get away with wearing this, you can probably also get away with wearing this highlighter. But I think if you're really pale, I don't think it's gonna work for you. So there's a swatch of it right there. This is definitely more intense than the House of Petunia one. So let's finish up this weekly makeup basket with lips. So let's talk about the lip combo that I am wearing today. I am wearing a Lord & Berry, one of these crayon lip colors in the shade Intimacy. I think I got this Lord & Berry lip color in like a boxy charm, but it's just a, I don't know, like a pinky mauve color. I wanted to wear more of like a pinky shade to pull out the pinks in my eyeshadow look. And then I topped it with one of the newest Anastasia lip glosses that I have in my collection. This is the shade Vintage. And there's a swatch of it right there. It's a very creamy, opaque lip gloss. So I only use a little bit of this to kind of top the lip pencil. And it has a very slight gold shimmer to it. So I have been wearing a lot of lip gloss products just as toppers on top of lip liners, on top of lip crayons like this, and I've been really enjoying the look because I feel like when I put a lip gloss on top of a traditional lipstick, it's just too creamy and emollient. So I've been going in with a lip crayon like this and topping it with a lovely lip gloss, and the crayon or the lip liner, because they're meant to last for a while, really kind of extend the wear of that lip gloss. So I have another couple of lip pencils or lip crayons that I wore underneath some lip glosses. I don't know where the other lip glosses went. I did have like the sugar one from Marc Jacobs, and I wore that on top of both of these lip liners. So this first lip liner is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Under Over Lip Liner in the shade Freestyle. I really like this lip liner. It is a gorgeous color. It's like this brownie shade. There's a swatch of it right there. And I've been wanting to pick up a few of these Freestyle lip liners, but they're just too expensive, so I'm gonna wait for them to go on sale. Hopefully they'll be on the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I definitely got this in like either a BoxyCharm or as part of something. I didn't pick that up on my own. I did pick this one up. This is the NYX lip liner in the shade Natural. This is just a really nice naturally nudie lip liner. So there's a swatch of it right there. You can see the shade difference. It's a lot warmer than the Bare Minerals one. Let me talk about the other lip products. The first one is from NARS. This is the NARS Orgasm Afterglow Lip Balm, and I really like this. I wore this several times on days where I had kind of a more like natural look. I wore this to my orientation with that very natural eyeshadow look, and I really liked the formula of this. It was really nice and hydrating. It didn't really move around too much. It was like a really peachy, pretty peachy, sheer peachy pinky color with a little bit of a gold shimmer, but the gold shimmer is not super intense. It's not like chunky glitter, so it doesn't like settle into your fine lines or anything like that. So if you're interested in a more like balm, I'm not even going to swatch it because it's probably not even going to show up on my hand, but if you're interested in a more like sheer yet hydrating balmy type of quick and easy lip product, I would definitely look into this. I know NARS is kind of expensive, but I have been really enjoying wearing this. I wore this multiple times, and I kind of just have it in my little makeup bag just to kind of touch up or rehydrate my lips throughout the day and add just a little bit of a flush of color. All right, so I have the Anastasia lipstick. This is the matte lipstick in the shade Cool Brown. I hauled this during that sale for the National Lipstick Day, and it is a gorgeous brown shade. I have been on the hunt for new brown lipsticks. I've been wearing a lot of brown lipsticks, and although the color is absolutely gorgeous, the formula, it's a little dry. It definitely tugs when you put it on, so I really have to hydrate my lips. So I have to kind of put on like a little bit of a lip mask as I'm doing my makeup if I know I'm going to be wearing or pulling out one of these lipsticks. And I try to kind of put on a little bit of a more hydrating lip liner, like the ColourPop lip liners. They're emollient yet set, but not super drying like the MAC lip liners. And I also feel like I have to kind of add just a little bit of a gloss on top of this because it's just too drying. Not as drying as like a liquid lipstick, but it is a little bit more of a dry formula. But honestly, the browns that I picked up from this, I picked up 4 of these, and the browns that I picked up are just so gorgeous that I am willing to put up with that like troublesome formula. But yes, these are matte. These are matte lipsticks, and they're not extremely comfortable. Yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. I love the color, but it's just the formula is just, it's not great. All right, so these are the Estee Lauder Pure Color. The writing is so tiny on this. Pure Color Love lipstick in the shade 140 Naked City. No, I did not pay full price for these. I want to say I picked these up during either the 21 Days of Beauty or at my local CCO because I wanted to try this formula. I had tried an Estee Lauder lipstick years ago that I had picked up from a CCO, and it's just a super luxurious lipstick. The packaging is gorgeous. I like that you have the color on the bottom there, and it's just a luxurious lipstick. And I got it at like 50% off or probably even cheaper because I know I like always stack coupons whenever I go to that CCO. And if it was the 21 Days of Beauty, it was probably 50% off. And I really like the formula of these lipsticks. Ooh, I think I may have lipstick on my nose there, but it does have a very light vanilla scent to it. I will say that the bullet is kind of weird. It's like a flat top bullet, but it is really cool when you're trying to create like a very sharp kind of like Cupid's bow. Anyways, the bullet is kind of weird for me. I wish they had just used a traditional bullet. And I don't know if I said it, this is in the shade Naked City. And this is such a pretty nude. Like, it's like this, I don't even know how to describe it. Like this caramelly, peachy nude. Oh, I love this. There is an eyeshadow in the Dominique Cosmetics eyeshadow palette that had kind of that warmy undertone here. This eyeshadow in suede, and it really inspired me to pull out that lipstick because the undertone just went really, really well with that. And that was the day that I wore this as my inner corner. Or I'm sorry, I wore the blue as my inner corner and this in like the outer portion of my lid, and it works so well with this lipstick, especially because I had that pop of blue in kind of like the inner corner of my eye, and then I wore it on this side on like my bottom lash line. I'd love to recreate that look if you guys are interested in me showing you what that looks like. And this lipstick color just, it went so well with that. So I would definitely say these are worth it. It's very creamy. It's almost kind of like hydrating, and I thought it wasn't gonna wear that well because it is such a creamy and almost lightweight lipstick. I could barely feel it on my lips. I didn't have to put a gloss or anything on top of it. I really like the formula of these. I can see why they're so pricey. They definitely don't beat out my NARS Audacious lipsticks, don't get me wrong, but this formula, it surprised me. Alright, so I do have a mini lipstick. This is the Too Faced, part of like the little peach collection. And this is called Sex on the Peach. And it's just a little mini that I got. It does have that really strong, like peachy, peachy scent to it. It's a really pretty nudie color. As you can see, I pulled it out because I wanted to wear it with this NYX lip liner, and I liked it. I liked the formula of it. I definitely will finish using this mini, but I probably wouldn't pick up a full size of these just because the scent was a little bit overwhelming, especially because it's on my lips and I can smell it throughout the entire day. But if you really like the scent of the Too Faced Peach collection, then I would say pick it up because the formula is really nice. It's creamy. It doesn't necessarily last all day. I did have to reapply this a few times, but it's a pretty easy formula to reapply. So those are all of the products that I have used for the past 2 weeks. I did a lot of playing around. I pulled out a lot of single shadows. I really had fun playing around with some of these single shadows. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to post 3 times a day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but that may change with the school year coming up. I do start like my training and orientation in just a couple of weeks. So again, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.